G'day. Let's have a chat about data imports. Data in your system is an important thing. If you've got an existing system and it's got information in it that you know is accurate and valuable, then it kind of makes sense to import that information into your new system. In saying that, I've seen some businesses in the past that they go and import information from a system that really wasn't quite good enough, and the information in there maybe wasn't accurate, was all over the place, was maybe, for example, with parts, maybe things were duplicated and got all sorts of weird and wonderful things in there. You really want to have a think about whether or not it's worth your while to start with bad data into a brand new system. I'd really like you to sit down and think about that. If, however, you've got information that you know is relatively accurate and is pretty valuable to you, then there's no reason why you can't import it into your new system. So at Autosoft, what we do is we've got a data import program where you can basically go through the process yourself. If you want our help with us, we can offer you those sorts of services, but you can do it yourself. So you choose what database you're going to import, the file name that you've got from your old system, whatever that file might be, and the layout of that file, and you map what information goes where. So for example, for parts, you're going to maybe map the item code, your old item code, to the new item code, the description and the group, and maybe the cost price, the retail price. All those things get mapped. Once they're mapped correctly, you can click on process and it goes through the import process. And it'll do things like check whether or not that product maybe already exists in your system, and it'll update various things that it needs to go through and update. So the data import process is actually relatively straightforward. I think the most important thing is can you get it out of your old system? Now most systems, even some old systems, you can get that information out of those old systems. More often than not, we find that you can actually go through that process. Ask one of our team. We've got experience with a lot of different databases and a lot of different systems. So we should be able to help you through the process of extracting information out of your old system. There may be charges, and we've actually got external help that we can get people to go through a process of extracting data out of certain databases for you. So if you want to go engage those sorts of people, then we can certainly be able to help you through that process. The other thing, which is maybe not necessarily about data import, but more about managing your data over time, is price imports. So for example, if you deal with a parts supplier, that you then get their price list every so often, say once a month, once a quarter, whatever the time frame might be, you can use this very same data import program, set up your own template for that particular supplier, and you can go and run what we call a price update whenever you want to go and run that price update. So you get the file from the supplier, as long as that file's in the same format, which typically it is, you can then use this template and this data import program to simply and very, very quickly go through the process of doing a data import or a price update for those particular suppliers. I want to show you the actual program that we use to do this and just run through a couple of things and show you how simple it is to go through a data import of certain information from your old system, and secondly, how you might do a price update. Thanks for your time.
Okay, let's go have a look at how easy it is to import data into the system. This is the first screen that comes up. I can do one or two things. I can either create a new format or I can use an existing template. I'm going to choose to import customers or debtors. I go next. I choose the file I'm going to choose. So I go debtor import, which is one that I've created, which is debtor import.csv. What this does, this goes and loads all the column names because it goes and reads that file. You can see how quickly it does it too. And it reads the file and it goes and puts the actual fields that are there. So what I now need to do is just map them. So I'm going to map the code with the code, the first name and the company name. The address is going to go here. The suburb is going to go there, state, postcode, and then we go down to the phone numbers, which are a little bit down here further. So we're going to go phone, we're going to go fax, and mobile, email, and web address. So you see that these fields are now mapped into these fields here. Right? So what we can do, if we want to, we can save this as a template. So we just go save it as a template and we call it debtor import or whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter, that's entirely up to you. Go save, and that's now saved as a template. So if you wanted to import this file or import any file in this particular format, you can go do it again next time without even needing to map these things. It's really straightforward. Go next, and it goes and says the import's done. We go finish, and our data has now been imported. So as you can see, really simple, really straightforward, and very quick to do it as well. Okay, we're going to go and do another data import. This time we're going to do what we call a price update. So a price update is where you get a price file from a parts supplier that you would get somewhat regularly. So you might get it, for example, once a month, you might get it say once a quarter, something like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on price update, and in this case I'm going to show you how to create a new template or translation format as it's worded there. If I go next, it asks us a whole lot of special things. To be honest, it looks a bit complicated, this sort of stuff, but there's a few things that you can do. For example, choose what supplier it might belong to, right? So we might go, you know, Autosoft, for example, and if there's no group or franchise defined, you might want to choose those sorts of things. To be honest, there's probably not a lot of stuff that you need to do here, more some specific things that we've done for particular people, and once you set it up once, and you can use our help if you like, you don't need to worry about it after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and choose an input file, and I'm going to go and get it from, and I've got it called ABC parts price file, right? So this ABC parts price file has got these fields in it. It's got an item code, the description, brand, group, retail cost, and barcode. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to map them. So I'm going to go part number, the description, and put it over to the brand, the group, the retail price, which we call list price, the cost price, and we've got barcode down here. So you'll notice now these things have all been mapped across. What we can do is we can save the template, and we'll call it ABC parts import, something like that. We go save, and that's now saved. So what we do now, we go next. It's gone and import the products that were in that list, finished, and the job's done. Okay, now that that's done, I just want to show you it again, but this time we're going to go and choose an existing template instead of going and creating the template from scratch again. So if we go and say choose an existing template, which is the default there, and click on price update, we go in here, we choose our ABC parts import, go next. It's already got the settings that we've had from last time. We go next, already got the settings we had from last time. We go next, and it's done. So really straightforward to do. It doesn't take hardly any time at all once it's already set up. Of course, if it was a massive file, had tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of products in there, that would take a few minutes and some time to process. But the actual process of setting it up and running it is actually quite straightforward. Hope you got some value out of this. Thanks for your time.